So you're thinking about selling your home this year. Good idea. Let's get into it. Hey, how you doing? Derek here from M1 Realty. I'm the broker owner, founder of the company. Started 10 years ago in Ferndale, Michigan with myself and a laptop up on the third floor of an office building here. Fast forward to today, we've got the #1 real estate team in Ferndale. I've got an all-star team. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, invest, rent, whatever you need, we've got you covered. So last week we discussed what you need to know if you're looking to purchase a home this year. And I've had a lot of people reach out saying, hey, I'm thinking about selling. What advice do you have for me? So that's what this video is all about. So let's dive right in. So there's a ton of things that are important when selling a house, but I've kind of narrowed it down to the top 9 things that you should keep in mind if you're looking to sell your house. So number 1, first and foremost, the most important thing is identifying what price you're gonna go on the market at. So the main piece of advice I have for that, and I list homes all the time. I've been doing, I've listed 1,000 homes in my career, right? So when I'm discussing with home sellers, like where the price should be at, one of the main things that I get that are kind of incorrect is people using like a house that's listed down the street or something like that, or one that sold 2 years ago for X amount of dollars. And then when I do the research, yeah, it sold for more money than what I'm recommending, but that's because it's 700 square feet larger with 3 extra bedrooms, things like that. So we need to compare apples to apples. So when I'm looking at what price I should value the house at, like what we should put it on the market at, I don't use active listings, generally speaking. I just look at recent closed sales. So we want to compare apples to apples. So for a recent closed sale, what I'm looking for is something that's within a 1 mile radius of your home, and any homes that are within 200 square feet in size, within 10 years in age, preferably the same style of home. That's what we want to use as comparables. So we can use homes that are pending, like ones that have gone under contract but haven't closed, as kind of like a guideline. And really the only thing that I use active listings for, like the homes that we're competing up against, is to know exactly where to position your home so that it's, we don't want to be too high against, if the exact same house is on the market 2 blocks over, we don't want to be $10,000 more, because given the choice, a buyer is going to take if they're basically equal, they're going to take the cheaper house. So we just want to make sure that you're kind of bracketed right on the market compared to the other homes that we're going up against, competition wise, and that we're in the right ballpark with homes that have recently sold. Reason being is, generally speaking, 80% of the time you're going to sell your home to someone who's getting a mortgage. That house is going to have to appraise, and those are the comps that an appraiser is going to use. So we need to make sure that we're not it's great if you can price it high and get somebody to meet that price, but that's only half the battle. We still need to get it to appraise, and we need to keep that in mind as well when we are pricing your home. The second question I get is, what should I do to my home to get it ready for the market? So my answer for that is pretty simple. Not much. I don't believe, in my philosophy anyway, is not to have you dump a bunch of money into a home that you don't plan on living in anymore. So I'll never tell somebody they have to drop, 25 grand in their kitchen in order to sell it for 26 grand more. To me, that doesn't make sense. But that being said, there is a massive benefit to going to spending a few $100 going to Lowe's or Home Depot or Menards or wherever, getting some mulch, flowers, just creating that really good first impression, so that most buyers are going to know within the first 15 seconds to minute of pulling up to your home, walking in the front door, if that's a place they can see themselves living. So what we really want to do is create that really nice first impression for people as they come up to the house. So that means keep all the, if you got kids, keep the toys out of the front yard, make sure it's landscaped nicely, make sure there's mulch, flowers, depending on the time of year. And just like I said, create that great first impression. That's really going to do more benefit for you than pretty much anything else you can do. with the exception of being, something that, if you have like one of your rooms is like hot pink or something like that, or has some crazy color scheme or whatever, maybe think about painting it a more neutral color. But I wouldn't even recommend that necessarily. That's kind of like a case-by-case basis. Generally speaking, straighten it up, tidy it up, make it look really presentable when you're showing it. And aside from that, price it for what it is. And then as an addendum to that, we'll call it 2A, I get questions from time to time on if people should stage their home. Generally speaking, I don't think it's really necessary. It's kind of pricey. I don't see a huge benefit from that unless you're like a really high-end luxury home. Then you might want to think about it. The only exception to that, it would be to, typically speaking, it's like 1940s and 50s bungalows where the bedrooms, just the way those are set up and the way that they show, the bedrooms are decent size when there's furniture in them, but they look tiny when there's not. So I always say if that's the kind of house that you're selling, or if it's an older ranch even, just anything that's like kind of older with smaller bedrooms, like 10 by 10, 11 by 11, things like that, even if you put like a chair in there somewhere, it adds perspective to the rest of the room and makes it look bigger. That would really be the only thing that I'd recommend. And again, that's something we can address on a case-by-case basis. But generally speaking, if you have an older home, the bedrooms could benefit from just any kind of piece of furniture to give perspective. Other than that, I'm not a huge fan of staging. I've never really seen it be that much of a benefit. Question number 3 that people have is, should they hire an agent or should they try and sell it for sale by owner? You know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to back it up with stats. And the fact of the matter is, nationally speaking, across the board, nationwide, homes that are listed by realtors sell for 30% more than homes that are for sale by owner. They just do. And that's that's just backed up by the statistics. Now that being said, I don't think I have to tell you that there is a massive disparity between competent agents in this country and ones that have a real estate license but maybe don't know what they're doing so well. So that being said, do your homework. Make sure you interview a couple agents before you list your home. And whoever you go with, make sure it's somebody that has a solid marketing plan of action, that has done this before, and can show you step by step what they're going to do to get your home sold and get it sold for top dollar. Because a competent agent, that's what we do for a living. And we close hundreds of deals. A great agent closes hundreds of deals a year. But over the course of people's careers, we're talking like thousands of deals closed. We're going to be able to do the job of getting your home sold more effectively than you will be able to on your own. Generally speaking, I know there's exceptions to every rule, but statistically, we're going to get you at least 30% more for your home than you'll be able to get on your own. Question 4, people want to know what kind of documents they need to have prior to selling their home. And assuming that you're going to use an agent, your agent will take care of most of those documents for you. The one thing that I would recommend just getting on your own and having it ready is, especially if you've not lived in your home that long, like I would say 10 years or less, if you can find your old title insurance policy, give that to your agent or send it to the title company that you're using. Because usually if it's a newer title policy, the title company can use that, and they'll even provide you a 10 or 15% discount on your title insurance for doing that. That can save you, at least $100, usually more than that. So that'll cut down on your closing costs a little bit. Aside from that, if your agent will handle the exclusive right to sell contract and the MLS docs and things like that. The only thing, if you are considering going on your own, selling it by owner, you're definitely going to want to have a lead-based paint disclosure, assuming your house is built before 1979. So anything up to 1979 needs to have that lead-based paint disclosure, and then the seller's disclosure as well. So I think you can, those are the kind of docs you can literally go to Office Depot and get them. They're just super boilerplate, but that would really be it. And let me add an addendum onto that as well. So we'll call that 4A. If you do live in a city that requires a pre-sale inspection, and in our market, that's going to be most of the cities in Wayne County, and there's a couple in Macomb that require it as well. you're going to want to have that C of O inspection, that certificate of occupancy inspection. I would recommend doing that before you list your house. Just get that out of the way. Generally speaking, unless your house is trashed, they're going to come back with a couple little minor things that need to be done, but just get them done and get them out of the way. And that way, when you do have that buyer, you can provide that certificate of occupancy, and that puts you ahead of some of your competition. Question 5. So how do I market a home? What are the best strategies to do that? So just putting it on Zillow ain't going to get it done. Just putting it on the MLS ain't going to get it done. Generally speaking, I know we're in a seller's market, and that will, just putting a sign in the yard and throwing it on online will bring you buyers for sure. But we don't just want a buyer. If you're doing it right, we want to get you multiple buyers that are pre-approved, ready to go, and excited to buy at the opportunity to purchase your home from you. And at least what we do is an omni-channel marketing strategy, meaning that we're everywhere you can think of. So we're not just going to use one source to advertise your home. We're online, we're offline, we're making dials, we're calling around the neighborhood. We're doing anything and everything that we can to generate as much excitement in your home as possible. And then from there, all the buyers that we are able to acquire from that, we kind of funnel them down and eliminate the people that either aren't serious about buying your house or aren't able to buy your house. So at the end, what we're left with is buyers who are ready, willing, and able, that are pre-approved, that we know can purchase your home. And if that all sounds ridiculously complicated, it kind of is, but that's how, that's what sets us apart. That's what gets you that 30% more for your home than you'd be able to get on your own. That's why we have value. So if you want to break down to that, I'm happy to explain that to you. Just shoot me a DM or give me a phone call or text, and we'll talk about it. Question 6, people want to know how long it's going to take to sell their home. I always tell people, if I do my job right, I'm going to make your life extremely inconvenient for an extremely short amount of time. And generally speaking, I think the last couple of listings that I had that went under contract, one took 5 days, the other one took 3. So, generally speaking, we're not on the market for an extended period of time. There are a gazillion factors that go into that, but on average, in our market right now, for the entire MLS, but this is as of January of 2024, the average days on market is 43 days. So our target is to get your house under contract in less than 30, and I think my track record is well under that as well for the past couple years anyway. But that you can expect to hopefully have your house under contract. If everything is just average, in about 6 weeks you'll be under contract on your way to closing. Question 7, what are the costs associated with selling my home? So there's going to be, as a seller, don't have as many closing costs as you do on the buyer side, and a lot of those buyer closing costs are mortgage related. But the ones that you will have on the seller side, typically speaking, the ones that are customary in Michigan, is the transfer tax. Part of that goes to the state of Michigan, part of that goes to whatever county you're in. But no matter what county you're in, that's always going to average out to $8.60 per $1,000 of the sale price. So if you're selling your house for $100,000, you're going to pay $860 in transfer tax. That's obviously easy to figure out, but that's one of your main closing costs. The other one is going to be title insurance, because you're going to be providing a title insurance policy with your warranty deed to that buyer. And what that does is it covers that buyer in case Uncle Bob comes from, hey, I got a quitclaim deed from 1980 saying I own 25% of this house. No, you don't, because we got title insurance that'll make him go away. So that's basically the other main one. And then commission, and that's obviously negotiable, whatever you and your agent negotiate out. Those are the big 3. There's going to be some little incidental closing costs as well, like recording the deed would be like $35 or something like that, and getting the payoff from the mortgage company is $20, and certifying that you're not in a flood zone is like $8.90 or something, whatever. There's just be a probably less than $100 of incidental charges on top of that, but those are your main ones. Question 8. What should I disclose to buyers about my property? This one's easy. Everything. Question 9. So this one I don't get as much, but I do get it from sellers quite a bit. People want to know how to manage the offers that do come in and negotiate them and give good counter offers. That's something that comes with experience. So that's, again, one of the many reasons why I recommend hiring an agent who knows what they're doing to market your home for you. It's gonna make you more money, and you don't have to learn this kind of stuff on the fly. But if you insist on learning it on the fly, that's totally fine. The one thing I would recommend is there's a book by a guy named Chris Voss. It's called Never Split the Difference. One of the best books I've ever read, one of my favorite books. I highly, highly recommend it, and it's all about business negotiation. He was actually on the Joint Terrorism Task Force, and he was like the lead hostage negotiator for the FBI for a bunch of years. Like anytime an American got kidnapped anywhere in the world, it was his job to get them back. He's turned that into a book that kind of delves into business negotiation. Super, super awesome book. Highly recommended. But aside from that, I mean, this is what I do for a living. Every single day, I don't think a day goes by where I'm not either negotiating on behalf of one of my buyers or one of my seller clients. So, that's just something that, again, comes with experience. There's tactics you can use and strategies, but ultimately, you just need to have the practice. You need to have the reps in order to really successfully negotiate a deal for yourself or for one of your clients. And I think I'm, pat myself on the back a little bit, but that's something I've really emphasized over the years, and I've made it a point to become as good of a negotiator as possible for my clients, whether I'm looking to get the price down for my buyers or looking to put more money in my pocket for my sellers. That's really what my goal is. Well, guys, that's pretty much it for today. Hopefully, I hope that helps. If you do have any other questions, if there's something that you still have a question about that I didn't touch on, or you want a little bit more in-depth answer on any of these, as always, just reach out to me, call or text me anytime, 586-491-5622. You can also reach me at dwerenka@m1realty.net. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, you name it, I'm on it. Just DM me, I'll respond quick. And until next week, thank you so much for watching, guys. I truly appreciate this. And best of luck. Hope to hear from you soon, and have a great one.